Alright, so these two players are ready and raring to go. We got SNG, as I've already talked about before. Very well known, very popular, very fantastic individual. Makes a lot of cool mods. And we love him. On the other side, we got WaterFoxy. Also a community manager of sorts. I believe he does the Neo Party Crash, which, when those events happen, they're silly fun times. Now, we are going... So, I haven't talked about these characters, Bite and Bark yet, and I haven't had a chance to talk about Springtron. I'm just going to do this because it actually makes it easy, and I do technically have the asset. I know where things are going. So, we're going to talk about this stage in a moment. I just need to make sure I've got the overlay sorted. Alright, so we have Bite and Bark from WaterFoxy coming in with Roaster and Parasol, and you are right, folks. This is a puppet character. You've got a good doggo, you've got Bark, he a little dog, he has his own extra punch, he can also get punched down. That is the big disadvantage. But when he is up, he works as a barrier that you can use to block attacks. He works as a good boy that you can bounce off of, which you saw. And he's very difficult to use well and very easy to punish. Very difficult character to use effectively. But when you play Bite and Bark well, it is super fantastic. Just a very fantastic character. And we're a hit away from SNG being able to get, or from SNG being taken down, and WaterFoxy managing to secure a very, very fantastic point there. Definitely needs that advantage because I know how good SNG is. I remember before, WaterFoxy would typically struggle with this matchup, but it looks like WaterFoxy has leveled up his game right now, but he has not leveled up enough to... Did Bark just save Foxy from that rush? Good boy! Good boy, chat. We need to say good boy to Bark, who saved Bite from like half of the damage from that rush, and is giving Foxy just beautiful opportunities to keep this pressure going. That is a good doggo. He is taking hits, and he is giving Foxy the opportunity to just power through this. Right now, we have the center arena of Mausoleum opened up, which means that this stage is a lot more defensive. That is right, that is a trampoline. Normally, the circle is a very well-balanced stage, but when that opening happens, when enough knockdowns on the centerpiece occur, then it results into, it turns into a situation like that. It turns into a springboard, which is very difficult to traverse. It makes it very difficult to kind of combat and keep up with things, just because of the fact that, yeah, you can't block while you're on that trampoline. You cannot block on that thing. It is a nightmare. It's so frustrating. And means that approaching is a much more difficult thing to do. So typically, defensive plays are very heavily rewarded. I personally like the stage a lot, but there's a lot of people that don't. I remember a long time ago, if anybody, there was a very, very popular competitive player. During his height, was seen as one of the best. Actually despised Mausoleum and tried to get a protest to ban Mausoleum, much like how I've ran campaigns to try to ban gloves, because gloves are broken and the game and the scene would be healthier if gloves were banned. We should ban gloves. SNG has swapped over to Lollipop, trying out Hydra Nade, a very interesting combo. Working out pretty well at canceling out that rush. The Hydra's really not strong in that it has a very vertical range, which means that it's very easy to catch Foxy's jumps and whenever he's bouncing on Bark. The other downside, though, is Parasol's really good at punching through a Hydra and just making sure that Foxy gets his hits in instead. As you can see, it kind of just overweighs and pummels through the Hydra, which means that if Foxy is using his Parasol right, SNG is oftentimes fighting with one less arm. Dive straight into that nade. Quick explanation of this stage. It's like sparring ring, but there's trampolines on the corner. You can bounce off of them. They're funny. They're fun. They're great. We love them. You can do the Ibuki combo on that. What's that? You grab an opponent, throw them onto the springboard, then you pop rush. Really cool, really hype. One of the first special fancy combos the community ever saw. Heading into our next round, SNG now has the advantage ready with that rush. Needs to find a good way in. The tricky part is he has to rely on either a springboard confirm or some kind of setup like that to be able to get his damage. 350 is fantastic. And he's currently running with a perfect Commentator's Curse. Commentator's Curse! Bark managing to be a very good boy. Chat, I know we just said good boy, but Bark just stopped a perfect. Can we get another good boy for Bark? We gotta appreciate him. He is a champ. Out comes the rush, trying to stop it with the Hydra. Actually, very surprisingly successful in fighting through that, as the Parasol hadn't fully opened up yet. If Foxy was like 2 frames faster, that would have actually been just decimation for SNG. But now he is in the driver's seat. He's got rush ready. He's looking for a good opportunity to kind of lock in, set things up, either push Foxy onto that springboard or just eat a rush of himself. The Parasol does unfortunately miss, but 175 damage is nothing to sneeze at, and Foxy currently has the lead. SNG trying to secure some kind of advantage, some setup to be able to get this rush to be true because of how inconsistent a single glove can be, and the Hydra is like very easy to overpower. Sees that one dandy hit, and he's gonna follow up, and SNG does manage to secure a point, bringing the score to 1 apiece. We appreciate Bark in this house. Look, Foxy's even got the Bark badge. It's a good badge. Cute. It's nice. It's lovely. Oh yeah, SNG, actually, fun fact about the badge he has, you can only get that badge if you complete every other achievement in the game. That is the every achievement badge. Just to show you the dedication SNG has for ARMS. This man did everything. And then, on top of that, he was like, okay, I did everything. Now that I've done everything, it's time to make new things. Dude recently just put Shy Guys in the game. He put Shy Guys in ARMS. Do you want proof? I got proof. I can pull out the proof right now. Let me go grab the proof. I'm gonna go dig around. I'm gonna find some yummy pudding. Here, we gotta grab this. Let's see, what's the best way to do this? Yes, do that. Where is it? Oh, that's on this scene. Where did it go? Why is it? It's not showing. Hold on. I'm getting the pudding. I'm getting the proof. Give me a moment. Give me a moment. Just give me a moment. Copy image. Go into here. Paste. Continue. Yes. Show, please. You know what? No, I have a backup plan. I have a plan B. I have a plan B. Don't worry. Don't worry. I know what I'm doing. I'm a professional. We're just gonna do it this way. It's gonna look scuffed, but it's fine. Look at that. Right there. Do you see that? Sprint Man. Wait, no, hold on. There you go. Look at that. Sprint Man right beside Shy Guys. He did that. See? SNG right there. Fantastic. does a lot of cool things. Thank you for waiting for me to show that off. That was comedically timed. I don't know if that was intentional. But what is intentional is that these two have chosen random for their stage. Which means we don't know what we're going to get until it shows up. And what we're getting is Sky Arena. Now, this is the big finale stage for the ARMS Grand Prix or the single-player campaign. It's a pretty sizable place, and rather than springboards on the corners, you have a ditch. And that ditch can be really good for zoning, but it's also a place where if you get knocked into there, it's kind of a lose-more situation. So whoever is in that lower area typically wants to be a lot more careful, and their primary goal is to try to find a way back up. Which is easier said than done in a lot of situations. Out comes the rush. The nade actually knocking him back and allowing Foxy to safely evade. Out comes a 330 rush. Back in the driver's seat, back on advantage, has that center floor. But as I was saying, the topmost Hydra actually snuck through Foxy's attacks and managed to secure a knockback, giving SNG the chance to get back on the field, push Foxy back onto this corner, backed into the wall, into the ditch. As Foxy is trying to find his way. Actually, this kind of works good with the Parasol, because it means that the Parasol is blocking even more. Excellent block. Both players ready with their rush. Foxy needs a couple hits. SNG only needs one, and he is going to be able to get it. Bringing the score to 1 point for SNG here. And out comes an immediate greeting of rush. 315 damage. SNG trying to leap over it. But now SNG has a rush ready. He can play a lot more aggressively, because there's a huge trick that I haven't mentioned yet when it comes to rush. And that's that it brings you a free deflect. Normally, deflects are only for Springman, Springtron, and Max Brass, and technically Bite and Bark in weird situations where you bounce off of Bark's head. But when you pop rush, and you've seen a lot of players do this during the match, it actually stops any nearby arms, giving you an opening to go for a counter punch. As you saw Foxy right there, he kind of safely dodged a nade that should have hit him. Very effective, very strong, really good opportunities kind of created there. But even with that advantage, Foxy currently a disadvantage. SNG definitely blocking the Sky Arena. He knows what's up here, and he knows how to make this place work. Good parry with that Parasol. That's what I'm talking about with the Hydra. That is just... if you're too aggressive with your rush, it doesn't do anything. It's too weak of a rush. But he didn't need it. He didn't need it. He gets the KO. Now, we're going to take this moment quickly to remind everybody that if you are enjoying this stream, be sure to drop a follow. Stick around. I am planning on, this is Planet Scrapstar. I'm trying to set things up for more streams down the road. We do a lot right now. A lot of it is art, as I am creating my own assets, as you can see with the beautiful emotes that this channel has. You could also consider subscribing. They are currently, I think, 35% off. If you want to subscribe, now would be a great time to. Helps me out. Helps Planet Scrapstar out. We are a very, very poor planet. Need a lot of support, need a lot of help. Anything makes a huge difference. My life is very difficult right now. And any support would make a world of difference. So even if you follow, if you tune into future streams, just hang out. Company's always appreciated. It's always welcome. And I promise you'll have a good time. So, SNG is currently in the lead 2-1 against WaterFoxy. If he's able to secure one more win, he will move on to the winter final or semifinals. WaterFoxy looking for, has to get 2 more wins. He's definitely demonstrated he can get wins. He won the first game. Granted, the way random works, if a stage shows up, we ban it. That's how randoms work within this community. So we can't have things kind of repeating and coming out multiple times. Kid Cobra is hot. So he is going to have to find 2 more wins in other stages. One of which might be Scrapyard. This is I like this stage. There's a lot of people that don't like this stage, and for good reason. This upper area right there is very weird and causes a lot of camera issues. But it's a really fun stage. It has the strongest pillars in the game, standing up to 5 HP compared to everywhere else where the pillars only have 3 health each. Which means that despite there only being 2 pillars, they are the strongest pillars in the game, and they're going to last. Not like Foxy's Rush, though, as he gets stolen away by the Hydra. We do get a cheeky hit from Bark, trying his best to help out. Good boy, Bark. We appreciate you. You're doing a good job. Out comes the Rush. Out comes 280 damage. Huge amount of pressure. A lot of power coming through there. And SNG going to be able to secure a KO. Very nicely done. I'm going to take a moment here to kind of try to be sneaky here while things are happening. And I'm just going to keep rambling as we move on to this next round. Doesn't seem like this is working out too well for Foxy. This is match point. He is going hard in on Parasol's hard denial alongside Bark's extra punches. This might actually be a working strategy. Tries to go for the rush. The big downside is the rush really is difficult. Because as a mono rush, it takes you get one swing and then you're kind of stuck sitting around. And being stuck sitting around oftentimes means that you don't really get to do things. If you miss, you're very open. So when you're stuck with arms like the Parasol, you kind of need converts. And what I was talking about before, the Hydra is also pretty similar in that. We'll talk about it in a minute. Out comes another rush, trying to get a catch here, but again, SNG safely dodging out of the way. Both are low on health, both have had their rushes expended. Foxy is trying to snuff out Lola's light right at this moment. SNG doing his best to try to weave around this Parasol barrage. 20 seconds left on the clock. Foxy is building up another rush. It's going to be hard to land, but if he does, that would be a point. There's a hit. Tries to go for a grab. Just keeping up this pace. We've got an explosion. SNG has the lead. He can just time things out. He's going to try to go for it, but he gets caught by the Parasol rush! And that is... he's still in this. He's still living. He's still kicking. But now SNG has the rush advantage. He is going to... all he needs to do is get within range, and that nade can pummel through both of those Parasols. Putting away the Hydra, we do have the Boomerang to give a little bit more opportunity to fight back against this wall of terror that Foxy has set up. It is technically supposed to be a counter, but if Foxy is good with his positioning and movement and the timing of those Parasols, he can still actually parry the Boomerang. So this can still be a very defensive, very frustrating loadout to face off against. I think it's good that he's able to get the chip damage. Honestly, knowing how Parasol works, getting chip damage like that is actually one of the better outcomes. Nade knock back. SNG ready with a rush. It's his turn to come in. It's his turn to push. He is looking for the right opportunity. Out comes the Boomerang. There's the setup. Trying to follow through. Gets 320 damage. And Foxy currently getting pummeled down, eating these arms for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, depending on your time zone. Another Boomerang hit, and Foxy is now in critical. Cannot take another hit, and another hit he takes as Scrapyard is his swan song. SNG will be victorious and advance 3-1 against WaterFoxy.